Hallo und herzlich willkommen zur 61. Folge von Suzerain. Heute haben wir die Results of the Affair Scandal. Schauen wir doch mal rein. Several days had passed since I ordered the investigation into my secretary, Lavia Suno. Stimmt sogar wirklich, weil ich habe es ein paar Tage nicht aufgenommen. Both Peter and Lavia had been acting unnaturally nice to me, believing I'd let them off the hook for their affair. They seemed to be avoiding each other in the hallways, though. I was just settling in behind my desk when Lucian knocked on my door. Sir, a moment of your time? Of course. Lucian entered my room and closed the door behind him. A security team traveled to Lashaven to speak to the owner of the pub Miss Suno named. They confirmed that Lavia Suno had worked there. The description of her did not match that of your secretary. However, it did match that of an unidentified corpse that washed up in Langberg Bay 2 months before you. Mein Gott, 2 months before your inauguration. You mean... Further investigation by our operatives in Romburg matched Miss Suno's description to a woman named Elena Wentz, last seen graduating from the Crimsred Political Science Institute. Our whistleblower from Romburg recognized the name Wentz as belonging to a deeply embedded covert agent, although he had previously assumed it was a man. How could we have missed all of this? As mentioned, Miss Suno was hired without a background check. It's possible that this all could have been avoided had any of Mr. Wackerton's blood flow been directed to his brain when he selected her. Nein, ich wollte nicht Rumburg. But none of that can be helped now. Okay. The question is, what are you going to do, sir? I'm going to have Peter castrated. What do you think I should do? The standard procedure would be to try Miss Suno for espionage. If we do so, it's only a matter of time before the media pieces together. What happens? What if there were no trial? Then you'd... What exactly? Knowingly let her return to Rumburg? That would damage us even further if the truth got out. You must remain in control of the narrative, Mr. President, starting by letting Peter Wackerton take the fall. I know his actions were problematic. Problematic is an understatement. Mr. Wackerton put you in danger by failing to order a background check on your closest personal staff. He betrayed your confidence to a woman with whom he was committing adultery. Anton, would you do the same to your so-called best friend? I wouldn't, Lucian sighed. I'm your chief strategist. I have advised you on what I believe is the best strategy, but of course, the ultimate decision is yours. Warum kann ich nicht beide blamen? Es ist, glaube ich, nicht gut, wenn wir Peter nehmen, aber wir nehmen Peter. Alright, Peter will be our scapegoat. Very well. I shall consult with our friend Mr. Coronti and write a statement for you to read at the press conference. I'll leave you to handle Miss Wentz. Thank you. Lucian nodded and walked out. I called Carl Grazer from my desk and explained the situation. After a few minutes, I rang for Lavia. Grazer? Ah. She entered my office. Is there something you need, Mr. President? Please sit down. A barely perceptible flash of fear crossed her face. She said, "Why did you call me in here, sir?" I nodded toward my office doorway. Carl Greiser was standing there, along with 2 of his guards, blocking the entrance. "Elena Wentz, you are under arrest on suspicion of espionage. Please come with me." Her eyes started around the room. "What the hell is going on, Mr. President? Have you let Lucian get to your head? I thought you were smarter than that." You're going to pay for your lies, Elena. Carl's man grabbed her arms and began dragging her out. No, you can't do this to me. Peter, hearing her cries, rushed out of his office. Liv, what the hell? Anton, what's going on? Boah. Lavia, tell Peter who you really are. I won't say another word without a lawyer present. She looked Peter square in the eye. Expect this. You're a sad old drunk and lousy lay. Honestly, if I were a Rumbug spy, I'd barely have to do a thing with you. Wo hab ich das with her? Honestly, if I were a Rumbug spy, I'd barely have to do a thing. You two have Swordland ripe for the taking. She straightened up, ran her hand through her curls, and allowed Carl to lead her away. Peter sank to the floor in front of me. Anton, what the hell just happened? Come to my office. You're making a scene out here. Once Peter was in my office, I shut the door and explained everything Lucian had told me about Lavia. And you believe him? Well, better safe than sorry, especially after what she called me. At least we finally have this ordeal behind us. Let's get on with running the country, shall we? Das wird schwierig. Mein Gott, was ist gerade mit meinem Hals los? Actually, I have to tell you something. Yeah, what is it? I want you to resign. Peter looked up at me. His expression was numb. I guess I deserve this, don't I? No, but we need someone to take the fall for this scandal, or the administration suffers. He exhaled slowly. I could see tears in his eyes. I'm so sorry, Anton. I was never cut out for this job. You did great. Scotland's just not ready for a vice president like you yet. Don't patronize me. Stay for a drink. Without waiting for him to answer, I poured some whiskey into a glass. Peter grabbed the bottle instead. To new beginnings. He drained a third of the bottle in one long swig. Then got to his feet and unsteadily made his way to the door. I knew this was for the best, but I hoped my friend would be alright. Ach, Peter. Das ist alles nicht so geil. Können wir nicht irgendwo noch unseren... genau, das wollte ich noch sehen. Er ist immer noch als Vice President drin, okay. Aber dann würde ich sagen, was ist mit der Folge? Lasst doch ein Like und ein Abo da, wenn es euch gefallen hat. Schaut beim nächsten Mal wieder vorbei und tschüss.